in-depth interview with this wonderful individual that I have next to me who thinks he's really cool right now sitting in this chair. But for those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Monique Johnson, and I have created the movement Ignite Your Video Lifestyle. And I'm really, really excited to have the guest that we have on because, well, for one, I'm married to him. And also, I felt that based on the times that we're living in right now, I'm just uberly proud of him, of his amazing YouTube channel that he started back in March. And we're going to talk about all of the things when it comes to that. But I asked him, I was like, hey, babe, can we do an interview of you? And he was like, yeah, sure. And so I'm really, really excited to be here. So first things first, I want to introduce you guys to David Dilworth, aka Disciplined Dave. David, how's it going?
It's going good.
It's going good. So tell everybody, a little something about you.
So my name is Disciplined Dave, aka husband. And so I am a fitness YouTuber. I started a fitness channel that focuses on home workouts, and I do a lot of resistance bands work.
Awesome. Okay, so I just want to give a disclaimer here, guys. Unfortunately, it's been storming a lot where we are located. As a result, like throughout the day, we've had the stress of the electricity or the internet going out. So I just want to give that as a disclaimer. Hopefully that doesn't happen while this is going on. But I just want to let you guys know that because unfortunately, it actually happened within the last hour. And I was like, no! Because of the fact that, we're doing this live show. So, David, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, why did you decide to do this YouTube channel?
Well, for one, when it came to by day, I am a flight attendant. I am a flight attendant, and with that, I've always kept up with working out. My background is martial arts, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, kickboxing. And with that, I've always had a passion for fitness because when I was fighting in competitions, I wanted to make sure that I had the best competitive advantage. And when it came to that, I wanted to make sure that if I wasn't as skilled as my opponent, that I wasn't going to get tired before he did. And so with that, I had this natural routine of fitness that I always did. Even when Monique and I were dating, I was always working out. And on until now. And so what happened was that the first kind of step to it was Monique reached out to me probably about a couple of months into dating and asked me to help her get stronger. And so with that, when we went to the gym the first time and she started working out, I was like, oh, she doesn't know nothing. Like she was like bench pressing off of her fingertips and stuff.
It was horrible, guys. It was a disaster.
It was something where I was like, wow, now I had the responsibility. And yes, back then I knew that I was in love with Monique. And for me, I had to make sure that I taught her the right way with proper form and everything because I didn't want her to get hurt. And I wanted to make sure that I gave her the best information possible. So with that, it really educated me when it came to fitness because I had to go down to the basics so that she can understand how to do everything properly. Now, with that, it really increased my knowledge. She's always thanking me for helping her get fit, but she has taken me to a whole nother level. And she has taken me to a whole nother level. So with that, I was able to learn so much that I was teaching someone those basic and the foundation the right way. So through that journey, I was flying on the plane, and I had a lot of coworkers approach me and ask me, hey, they would just, I don't know, I guess they would just start talking to me about fitness and ask me like, oh, could you train me? I'm like, I'm not a trainer, but I know a lot of information that can help. And so I started getting a couple clients, and then I started to realize that was taking up my time. But I definitely enjoy fitness itself. And I said to myself, how can I help people on a massive scale that doesn't take away my time? And so YouTube was something that was in my mind. It wasn't until the kickstart of COVID happened where I wasn't flying as much. And I said to myself, I had all this work ethic and I wanted to do something to output that. I was actually a person that was very much against social media from most of the time when Monique and I were dating. There was something I didn't want to like post selfies of me like, hey, look at me, I'm doing stuff awesome. I wanted to have something that I could give back to the world, something that I've learned of information. And so I asked myself, what am I an expert on? What do I know that I could really help people with? And then it was like, it's fitness. It's something that I know that I could really, really help people. And so with that, I looked at social media in a different light, not as something for a braggadocious type of a thing when it comes to a material way. I looked at it as a way of I can help people in a way that I couldn't before. So when it came to that, that's really what helped start the channel. Was COVID gave me that little push to go ahead and do an idea that I've had in my head for a while.
Okay. All right. So, guys, if you wanted to know the whole full extent of the story there, David just shared that with you guys. And so, when it comes to YouTube, and thank you for those of you guys who are watching this live and also on the replay, your questions and all these things. Don't worry, I'm going to grill him. I'm going to really, get into the trenches here. What would you say were your initial struggles when you were first doing it? What was your initial kind of mindset when you decided to put out the first video?
Well, I think the initial struggle is very similar to working out, just putting out a video. There's a lot of times in my head, I was thinking about having to make it perfect or anything like that. And for me, I understand, especially when it came to martial arts and working out, you're not going to be the best person in the gym the first day. So the hardest part was just uploading, getting out of your head of things had to be perfect or look like this other YouTuber or this had to be professional or anything like that. So that was just the first thing I would say that was an issue when I started out.
Okay. So with that said, as you continue, talk to us, like how often were you posting videos initially?
Initially, I think that I've been pretty consistent since day one on a weekly basis.
Okay. And that's how many?
So I post videos between every 6 to 7 days.
Okay. Every 6 to 7 days. Why every 6 to 7 days?
Every 6 to 7 days for me was that I think that when it comes to doing something creative, and this is something definitely is creative, is something that you have an idea and a vision that you're going to do. As a person that used to work a corporate job before I worked at Delta, was that I used to work in an office and I was always grinding and pushing numbers. I was managing a lot of stores. I had a lot of employees. And with that, I think that I learned that when you have time to really think of creative ideas of what you want to do, it actually makes the product better. I didn't want to push out videos just to push out videos. I wanted to make sure that I was thinking, what would I enjoy? What would somebody else enjoy? What would be the best way to do this? Let me educate myself in between the time so that I can make the best video possible with my knowledge. And in every video I think of, it's like, how can I make this even better than the last one? How can I communicate this more effectively? And so that was kind of my mindset of doing it weekly. It was just, I felt like that was the right amount of time that I need to develop that creative mindset to get the best possible product out of it.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Awesome. So there's so many directions that I want to go to. So the first thing that I want to bring to people's attention is, I've been shouting it from the rooftops. My wonderful husband has been able to reach some major milestones, including one video of his, which we'll go into detail in just a moment, of it being over 100K views. He just shared with me he's almost 100 away from 4,000 subscribers. This is all starting from scratch, guys. March 2020.
Yeah, so subscribe right now, Discipline Dave. I'm only 100 away, and then after 1,000, there's going to be another giveaway. Look at it, Discipline Dave. That's my plug.
Right. And also he just shared with me like he's about to reach almost 1,000 subscribers on his email, and this is all done organically, guys. So the next thing I want to ask you, David, is you shared with us that you didn't like social media, so it's kind of like you were starting from scratch. Like I remember you were just starting your Instagram.
Yeah, I didn't know how to use Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram profile and things like that. So for someone who's just starting on social media, let alone starting a YouTube channel, right? So you're literally starting from zero. When you were first posting your first, let's just say, 2 videos, what were the things that you were doing to get the word out there?
So for me, I thought to myself, where can I find people that want to watch my videos? That was like the question that I asked. It was, I mean, I've talked to people about fitness who really didn't care. And then there's people who, they got like a water jug or something with them, and then they're all about it. And so it's like, how do I tap into those people? The people that I feel like are my demographic of people. So what I did was, I went and joined Facebook groups, and I literally joined like every single group that had like over 1,000 people. All right. I didn't care what the admin said about, we don't, no YouTube videos or no content promoted or anything like. I did not care. All right. Now
He was ruthless, guys, ruthless.
And so it was just, I literally went to where fitness people were, and I said, here's my video. And for me, I had a lot of confidence that I put a lot of time and my energy into making the best video possible. And I felt like if people could see it, then they would appreciate what they're viewing. And I think that just came from the work ethic of the video to begin with. So I was like, if they're going to kick me out, they're going to block me, I'm going to let that happen. But here's what happened. Yes, I got kicked out a lot of times. There's some that, blocked me out of there. But there was ones that said like no promotions, and those still went through. They would send me a DM. They're like, hey, normally we don't live promotions, whatever, but we really like your content and stuff like that. They would just send me personal messages and stuff like that. And those became like, those Facebook groups became my main source of my main fans. Okay. Those were the ones that shared it to other people. And those groups, the ones that remained and all that there, were initially my biggest views. If I looked at my analytics, I saw that a lot of them were external through Facebook. Also on my personal one, they're probably tired of me posting the videos and stuff like that there, but I started from the grassroots of, okay, if I'm going to show this to the world, I could at least show it to my friends first, because the internet's going to be more brutal than your friends. And so for me, it was like my personal Facebook groups were initially what I went to. There were certain like forums and stuff when it came to fitness forums, and I would just kind of like put my video there on a comment and stuff like that. And literally person to person, I talk about it to everyone. I
hold that thought for a second, actually, because yes, I want to, we just talked about real quick, online strategies, which transition over to offline, meaning that's the one thing that I admire about David, and I will even admit that I tend to be shy about. Like the thing he would talk to any and everybody that he felt could get benefit out of his channel. So talk to us, what are some things that you did, including getting business cards?
I initially got business cards because literally one person asked me one day, hey man, you got a card? And I didn't. And I felt like, I don't want that situation to happen again. That was literally my mindset. I was like, I got to get a business card. And that was very early in. Probably like a month in, but I said that I never want to have that feeling like not being a professional and not having something that they can take tangibly home after they forget talking about me, have a reminder in their wallet and be like, oh yeah, I got to check out that guy's channel. And so I literally got a stack of cards. I would leave cards at dry cleaners, at food places and stuff like that, wherever I could. When I talk to people, and because the topic of fitness kind of comes up, you start to realize that once you start getting in shape, people just start telling you like, hey man, I got to get in the gym. I've been running a little bit there, but I got to get back into it and stuff. Like, people just randomly start. I don't even bring up the conversation. And
it's how he looks, guys, you know.
And so when it comes down to it, when that conversation strikes, you know, and I talk about and I give advice, I'm just like, you know, I actually have a video about this. If you're talking about like what to eat or anything, I literally have a video called What to Eat. Check it out. Here's my card. And then they kind of like makes their wheels turn like, oh, like you're serious. You're a professional. You're a real deal. Like, just having that card there, like, people take the approach more seriously. And so once I give them that or anything, they'll be like, oh, I'll take a picture and hand it back to them. Like, I got plenty of cards. You can keep it. And so, and so literally just when it comes to that, having those conversations and stuff, I feel like every time I talk to somebody or when it comes to fitness, it is an opportunity. And I'm very proud of the content I make because I spend a lot of time into it. When I first started editing, it would take me 8 hours to do a 15-minute video.
Yes. Great segue, because we're going to go in so many, and I know there's like questions and comments coming in, so we're going to address those accordingly. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's a shocking factor here. Every single video that Disciplined Dave here put up on YouTube was done by what? What was it done by, babe?
What do you mean? Oh, the recorded on?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was recorded on my phone.
That's all. Guys, and, you know, his wife definitely has the fancy gear and stuff, but he's like, I think we did one video, and he didn't even like how it came out. He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to use this. All he used was this. You can go check his channel out right now, Disciplined Dave, plug for him. Every single video was done on your phone. Okay. Mm-hmm. Why did you decide to do it on your phone?
Well, for one, I felt like I was comfortable with the phone as far as how to use it, and I wanted to feel comfortable as I made the video. Two, I wanted to make sure that it was in 4K.
Okay. Talk to us about that.
So I wanted to make sure that the quality was 4K. There was a lot of YouTubers that I follow that their content is in 4K. And so I just felt like my phone was 4K and Monique has some nice cameras, but it was like in 1080p. And I don't know, I'm just like big into graphics and stuff like that. I felt like the quality, in my opinion, and me to manage it was better. It was like I can understand the frames per seconds better. How to lock in my focus and everything like that. And so it's just what I was comfortable with.
Okay. So what you were most comfortable with and what you had, you didn't want to make it, complicated or anything like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and then eventually the only other thing that you added was a microphone.
Right.
That was it. So
I just felt like, for me, because people know my wife as like a social media queen when it comes to video and stuff like that. I really wanted it to be something that I did from the grassroots up. Like, that was another reason I think with the phone there. I wanted it to be like something that was my project that I could handle and manage every asset of the business. Mm-hmm. And I knew that if I used one of her fancy DSLR cameras, it'll be a lot of questions. I'll be taking time away from her or anything like this. I wanted to do it straight up grassroots. And so that was kind of like my mindset behind it.
Okay. Love it. So for those who feel that you need the fancy smanchy stuff, you all know I come from the, I guess, grassroots area of use your phone. It's not going to stop you from being successful, especially on YouTube. And especially if you have the most recent versions of a lot of phones out there, they record in 4K. So you don't have that excuse either if that's something that you really want to have, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so...
Oh, you were asking about microphone. I didn't answer that.
Oh, I didn't ask you, but I was just saying you added the microphone.
Yeah, I added a microphone. I use the microphone I use is a Snowball microphone. I think it's like $50 or $60. I used it when I used to be a podcaster back in the day, and that's the microphone that I use. So I just wanted to use stuff that I knew and I was comfortable with, things like that.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So also, I just want to bring to your attention and give a shout out to your mother. His mother is the biggest cheerleader, y'all. Like that's another thing. When you get those cheerleaders and they spread the word for you, like his mother, my mother-in-law, shout out to you, Georgia Dilworth. Love you, love you, love you. She was telling any and everybody and just raving about it. And so, that's why we say don't be shy to share it with your loved ones and friends and things, because especially when as it goes with anything, when they see that you start gaining momentum, more people will come on board and things like that. So I love the fact that, David, we'll go visit my in-laws, his parents, and, he'll talk about it and rave about it. I remember one time your brother was over and was like, what? You got a YouTube channel? And everybody was, checking it out. Also, because...
No, he already knew.
Oh, yeah, he already knew.
Like, that's the thing that shocks me when I meet people
right.
who have watched the channel. Like, I just never...
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. And when it does happen, I'm just like, you're watching too? Like, or I'll get messages and stuff from people. It always surprises me that people watch it.
Yeah. And also because, recently, and I know some people are going to be like, but, David and I have been very cautious, but we've been going back to the gym physically. And I remember initially David would just... the people the regulars, if you will, who go, he will talk to them. And it's to the point now, especially when David releases a new video, we'll go up in there, yo, Discipline Day, what's up, man? And then they start asking him all kinds of questions.
Yeah.
So he's like a mini celebrity in certain local places. You'll be surprised. So I love that. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about or ask you about is really figuring out your audience, and then we're gonna actually kind of go over to your actual YouTube channel, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So initially, talk about who you were looking to target, because you remember at first, David was broad, and he and I kind of had a little battle where I was like, you need to niche it down. And he was against that initially, right? And then
I don't think it ever was a battle. I think I've always been open into niching. It was just how to find the niche.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. My bad, guys.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever an issue. I mean, I always understood niching down.
Okay. Well, I know for a lot of people, it's hard to not want to be broad and instead like niche it down and to like a smaller amount of groups. So at the time, it was actual other flight attendants, correct?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I started off pretty niche. It was just my niche didn't want me. So my first niche was that I wanted to help flight attendants with fitness, because a lot of what came about of me wanting to do the channel.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, guys. Continue. I was trying to, it's not pausing. Go ahead.
A lot of what got me into wanting to do the channel was to help people, because I was training flight attendants. A lot of flight attendants were asking me questions. So I started off being very niche when it came to the flight attendants. But then COVID happened, because I actually started a little bit before like COVID was big, not maybe like a week or two before. Mm-hmm. And so my first video you see you uploaded, maybe it's my second video. Okay. It's like a flight attendant shoulder workout.
Yep.
And so, it did well for at that time what I thought it did, but then a lot of the flights started being canceled. A lot of people went on leave, and I was just like, okay, this is not a good niche, because flight attendants aren't flying anymore. So I just thought, like, okay, I need to transition from that niche to get a little bit broader. Mm-hmm. And so I got a little bit broader when it came to home workouts. And so when it came to home workouts, I was very kind of doing all type of home workouts. And then what happened was, when I started working out with bands, because the gym started closing, I was like, there was a lot of aha moments when it came to working out with bands. Mm-hmm. And the energy of what I had, I put out in the video, and I think that transferred over to the audience. And then I started getting a lot of traction on bands. And then I said, And I started doing some more videos of bands. I'm like, this is my niche. Okay, I'm gonna focus on resistance bands.
Right. Okay. And just I just want to stop you there for a second. So we're showing David's actual channel right here, and so this is the video he's talking about here on the first row where it says hotel gym shoulder workout, 241 views at the bottom, and then here he starts doing more broad workouts. So let's go back to that, right? When you decided, okay, forget the flight attendants, we done with that. Was do more general home workouts here. First things first, what I noticed is your thumbnails have distinctly changed. So talk to us about thumbnails and what your process was initially, and even more so today now, how it's transitioned.
So thumbnails, like at first, so when I first started editing, I edited with a free software on my iPhone called InShot. And with InShot on there, that's what made me kind of do this style. I wanted something to pop, where it was showing kind of like this background where people can scroll and then they can see it kind of pop a little bit. And so it was really because of that software, and I started to say to myself that I felt like it was kind of limiting what I wanted to express, because it fully wasn't like I think what you're always trying to do is that I think a lot of people have great ideas, but trying to take those ideas and make them tangible to be, in this case, visual for someone, whether it be like a musician that has a song in their head and they're trying to get that expression out. I was trying to get the expression of the vision of the thumbnail out, and I was being held back by the software. And so from there, I upgraded to iMovie because it was free already in my computer, and that really made it unlock for me to change my thumbnails, because now the vision that I had of how I wanted to pop out on screen is coming to fruition. And then eventually, because I learned that in iMovie, it definitely expanded what I could express, but it still was limiting because I couldn't like move things to a certain side, like certain text or anything like that. And so I know that the pros use Final Cut Pro, and it's $300. And so I said to myself, well, they gave out a free trial for 90 days. And so I said to myself, if I can get 500 subscribers in 90 days using Final Cut, and I'm going to educate myself, and I know it's a very expansive software to learn. And I really learned a lot from other YouTubers and going down a rabbit hole on YouTube on how to use Final Cut. And once I got to Final Cut, it was just like I had a plethora of tools that I could use of ideas that are in my head and actually bring those to life. And that's why you see the progression of the thumbnails. And I hit 500 subscribers right on that day 90. And I've been using Final Cut ever since. And it's just been a great tool for me to help me explain how to help others in fitness.
Love it. And so, when you were first doing the transition from flight attendants to home workouts, what were you thinking here? Because I remember some of these were like, things you could use at home. And, there's even the one where you included me in it. So let's talk about like what your thinking was during this time and deciding to change your audience. So who were you talking to, and what were the things that you were trying to get across as you're transitioning? You're realizing, okay, this particular niche ain't working, so let's go to something else.
All right, so I'm gonna use the mouse here, if y'all can see this here. I'm gonna tell you my thought process through this whole like expression here. So these first two videos were videos that I filmed on my phone, kind of in low quality. Even though the first video I filmed in a hotel gym on a layover, because I was like, oh, I don't want like people in the video and stuff like that. And so these were videos that I had made with my phone with low quality. I don't even think I did them in 4K or anything like that. Just my first couple of videos. And then this third video was the same way too. And then I came over to flight attendant. I was like, you know what? I need to niche down. And then here was a video that I felt like I wanted to super produce it. I had multiple cameras, this and that. This is my transition now to iMovie. So we use a lot of different angles, a lot of different film when it came to that. And that was like one of my first major projects, and it showed in my views, because that was for me my first biggest hit. I mean, it has 800 and something views right now, and at the time that was like amazing.
And is this the one where you kind of like was emulating like a music video? Was that
right?
Yeah. Yeah, talk to us about that.
Yeah, I wanted to make it like this, like a fitness rap video.
Okay.
So like I had on my cool Yeezys on. I'm a big sneakerhead out there. If you're watching, hey, send me some sneakers my way, okay? Just hit me up on YouTube in the comments, DM me on Instagram at Discipline Day. I love sneakers. So anyways, so I had that, and then I had this vision in my head of like a rap fitness video. So I had like, I know like back in the day, the old school rap videos, they would have like who it was produced by and the name all in the corner as the camera's like moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring that to life in the fitness. So I did that with there. And then I wanted some like dope trap music. I'm from Atlanta, trap music, don't hate. Okay, we know that it's not the most deep music, but it makes your booty shake. And so I wanted to make sure that I had a video. I wanted to do that with that video. And then from there.
Wait, hold on. Hold up. Let go of the mouse for a second.
Right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Then from there, I wanted to make sure that I gave people the best information I knew. And when it came to face pulls on there, I feel like that really changed me, a game changer in fitness. But go ahead.
Okay. So when you're describing these videos, because they can't see your cursor, just make sure you're descriptive, like second row first.
Second row.
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I'm on the second row on the far right.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, that's when I first started using bands and in the videos.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I felt like that really kind of represented it well. That was another one that did well. And in my head, I'm not thinking like, oh, it's like the bands or anything. It's just the home workouts. And so then I go, and views kind of dip down a little bit as I'm scrolling left. And then I did one. I was thinking like, okay, people are in quarantine. Maybe they don't have any equipment or anything. I'm just going to show them how to do workouts with household items. And then, so this is when Final Cut Pro starts to come on. I'm kind of playing with thumbnails, different ideas. And then I said to myself, I want to make sure that I don't come off as a meathead that's only for men. Mm-hmm. And so I approached Monique and I said, I want you in the video because I want a more of a female audience to kind of see that this is for anybody. I don't want people to look at me and say, look at his physique. I can't be that. I haven't worked out in a long time. I can't possibly do these things. I needed Monique to show from a different perspective of a different body type, a different gender, to let people know, hey, you can do it too. And so that was a part of her coming on. And then once I brought her on, that's when numbers really did very well for me, as far as that was probably my next milestone of a video that was over 1,000 views.
So yeah, so as you guys see, this is a third row, the one with I'm eating a carrot and he's happy-go-lucky. Right. And actually things transitioned here as well. So before we move on, let's talk about, so at this time, you created a Facebook group by now.
Yeah.
And you put together a free guide to build an email list. So first, let's talk about the community factor and why you had a Facebook group and all that. So by now, you guys know he went and slaughtered all the Facebook groups out there that were in fitness. Like, he slaughtered them.
Slaughter game.
Got kicked out, whatever, banned, and then ended up getting some raving fans that way, to the point where there were some people like standing up for you or even like mentioning your video or whatnot. You know, you're sharing, I'm just recalling some stories you gave us. Yeah. But gave me rather. But, you know, at this time where we do the video where I make my debut on his channel, and you have a free guide and you have a Facebook group. So talk to us about those two things. Why do those exist at this time?
I created a Facebook group because I don't want to keep getting kicked out of other groups. And so I was like, I might as well just make my own, and then I could put what I want on there. And I also wanted to create a community that was safe, that a lot of the groups that I was a part of, there would be like shaming other people's bodies or talking about, you know, people are asking for help, and then, you know, they would make fun of them. So I want to create a safe space for people where they can go to, that it can be monitored, to where people can talk about their fitness journeys, they can talk about their transformation and ask questions and get real answers. And so that was my idea behind doing it. It wasn't so much the promotion. Mm-hmm. It was just that after seeing a lot of bad Facebook groups, I wanted to create a good one.
Aww, such such a good citizen. And then the free resource guide, the email list.
All right, so
Talk to us about that.
So that in itself was that, I did a lot of research early when it came to watching other YouTubers about how to become successful on YouTube, and I took a lot of advice in, and I followed different models. And one of the things that I learned was that you want to start an email list early, because what if YouTube ends? I mean, right now they're saying maybe TikTok may end, and if you have all those followers and subscribers and that ends, like, how are you gonna still communicate with those people? How are you gonna let them know where you're at now? And so I started early with an email list, but I said to myself, like, how do I get people to give me an email, because people don't really want to do that and stuff. So I was like, okay, all right, give a gift, get a gift. That was kind of like my mindset about it. I was like, okay, so let me give someone something so they can give me something. And so that gift was going to be a free meal plan. So I developed an automator through MailerLite, which is a software program that does emails out to mass numbers and collects a database of emails. And so I set that up, and I did a video on the What to Eat video, and I talk about what Monique and I eat. We follow intermittent fasting. I talked about what breaks a fast, what doesn't. And there's a shake that we drink every day. Yep. And so I created a whole meal plan that I did on a Word document and stuff like this. And I told people in the video, click the link for a free meal plan. And when they click the link, when they click the link, it prompts them on a website where they enter in an email to get a free meal plan. So their gift is a free meal plan. My gift is their email. And when I ever have anything I want to promote, anything that I want to sell, or anything I want to talk about, I just click that button there, and that created a stream of revenue for me.
All right, so we're going to get into that for a second. And another thing, as far as this video where I made a debut, I think is when his world and my world started to collide, because, or come together. I don't want to say collide. That's a bad term. Because some of my friends were hitting me up and saying, yo, I just watched David's video and I signed up for his meal plan. Shout out to Colin Yearwood. Like, he personally gave me a phone call. I made sure to put him on speaker, and he just raved to David, just giving amazing feedback on, the resource guide that you put together.
Yeah.
And so this is when, again, guys, remember, he turned up his nose to the whole social media thing, and then look at him doing exactly the things that I'm like, yeah. So I feel that this was definitely the initial turning point, like he stated before, for his channel. Now, also, because he had that Facebook group community, and there happened to be some females in there, there was also the voice of putting me back in there. So even not too long after we did that initial video, David had me come in again, right? And so that was just all on the premise of listening to his community and his audience. Let's also talk about, which we forgot, the reason why you did this resource guide. What David did in his Facebook group was create a simple poll. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to us about that.
So to figure out kind of what direction I want to go in the videos, I literally ask questions. So I use my group. I know that people here that are in my group enjoy my content, so who better to ask what more content to put out? And so I created a poll where I asked people about certain things, like about how many times a week would you want me to go live? What would be the next workout that you want to see? Anything like that. And I used that feedback to help shape around the type of content to create, because those were the people that were watching it. So might as well ask them.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping it simple. And then let's talk about, you said, with email and having this list now, you've created a new revenue stream for yourself.
Right.
And I remember, me being in the online marketing space, I'm like, okay, David, we got to develop this relationship. You got to make sure you're emailing them at least once a week, da-da-da-da. But David was like, and he pushed back. So let's talk about your strategy and how you're going about monitoring and growing more so engaging your email list, and how often you're communicating with them, and just your mindset. Because I remember you gave me an example of like a comedian, etc., etc.
Yeah, example of a comedian. What was it? What did I say?
You mentioned how a comedian was able to launch his career because he
Oh yeah.
see
Okay.
okay,
All right.
let's go.
So yeah. So I guess the comedian analogy that she was saying, because she was saying like, for like, make sure you do it weekly and stuff like that. And in my head, I'm like thinking, I once I get emails weekly, they become like mundane, and then I want to hit the unsubscribe button. And so I was like, I didn't want to do that. I want to make sure that every email I sent, like, there's a reason for it. They had a purpose to it, so that way when you do get it, you're more prone to click it. And when she's talking about the comedian, there's a comedian out there who he made $1 million in a day, and he did his special himself with no HBO backing, no Netflix backing or anything like that. He's his own producers and stuff like that. And he sent out an email and asked for $5 for it. And he's very like, the email is, it doesn't seem like, it seems like just someone just typed it to you and did it, and he just kind of explains to you like, hey, I know that you could probably, after you download this, you can share it if you want, you can steal it, you can make multiple copies. I'm just asking for $5. That's it. And just that simple, like, even I paid the $5, which I don't like paying for anything on the internet if I don't have to. And so I liked his strategy, and I wanted to use that strategy when it came to how I send out emails. I didn't want there to be a pattern. I wanted it to have purpose.
Okay, so with that purpose mindset, what sort of emails do you send out?
For one, go ahead.
Sorry, actually, talk about the first initial email. So you talked about your story and stuff. Like, what was your mindset? You remember the story about you?
So the first email, because when you get the email, there's an automator for the free meal plan. Then after that, I just have one other automator on there. So you get one about a week later. And that one tells you my story, my background, where I'm coming from when I'm making these videos, and that I'm here for you. And you can reach out to me. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm letting people know, that this is something that we can communicate with openly. And I just wanted to share my story with you to let you know. Right now, you're looking at me and you're saying like, oh, this guy is fit. He doesn't understand me. He doesn't understand what it's like to be, a big person in the world who, can't go to the gym, that has a family and all this here. And I want to show you in my story is that I've been all those things. And I've been where you're at. You're just seeing the result of it. So I'm showing you pictures. I'm showing you my ups and downs and everything to let you know and communicate that I've been there. You can ask me if you need help.
Oh, he's so sweet. Okay, so that was the automator. Now, what about just the last, I don't know, you sent only maybe like a handful since you started in March. So talk about to us, like, what is the purpose and the mindset behind those?
So a lot of them come from the comments I get on YouTube. So I get a lot of comments on the videos like, what type of bands are you using? Where can I get those bands? It's probably like the number one in the beginning. And I was like, you know what? How about I send an email about what bands that I use? So I literally had an email of like everything I use. So I sent an email like that for it. And a lot of people found that useful. There's other things where there's like, a lot of people ask for certain workouts or something like that. There's like, they want to see like an ab workout and stuff. And so sometimes if there's a video that I'm seeing that a lot of people are liking or anything like that, I'll send an email out about that, but I don't do that with everyone. I only just do that with certain ones that people ask about. And also I make sure I have a survey at the end of it so I can constantly get feedback on what people want to see, what type of content, if they're liking the content they're seeing. And I think that's a good way of people kind of feeling anonymous when they're sending it to me. Especially like, when you're dealing with friends, because your friends are always going to tell you stuff that's awesome, oh, I like it and this and that there. But I really want honest feedback to guide me. And so I like to use the emails for that. And I'm trying to think of some other emails that I sent. There's a couple of products that people have sent me that I really enjoy. I've been getting like a lot of just free products and stuff. And so if there's something I really like and I think people will like also, I send an email about that.
Got it. Love it. Okay, so let's switch gears for a little bit. We're going to actually go back to the YouTube channel itself, right? So, okay, this was the trap music one, right?
No,
the second
this
row.
one.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
yeah, that
last
was
row to the left.
Last row to the left, right?
How to work out from home.
Okay, so leading up to the one where I'm featured in the very first one on the third row here, well, on this screen right now, it would be the second row, those guys who are watching this. How were you structuring your videos? What was your mindset as to, this is how I'm going to, did you have a template in mind initially, or were they kind of random initially and then you figured out your style or your voice? How did you structure your videos initially?
For me, my whole theme of my core when it came to the channel itself was that I want to put the technique in your physique.
Yep, that's his slogan, guys.
Yeah, and so that was always the cornerstone of everything, because what I've learned when it comes to fitness is technique is everything. That's what takes you from good to great. All right. There's a lot of people, including myself in the past, who are just like pushing heavy weight, but they're not actually using the muscles that are engaging in that exercise. There's a lot of people who are swinging their backs and stuff and doing arm curls instead of keeping their back straight and stationary and only using their arms. And so for me, my mindset in the videos was that, how do I explain proper form and technique and express the importance of it during the video?
Love it. Now, I'm going to address some questions here. I know some of you have been having questions, and thank you so much for being here and leaving comments. And I've been keeping an eye on them, hence why some of the questions I'm coming up with, I'm like, okay, this should answer your particular. But this will kind of throw us off track of where we're currently going, but this is actually from G-Man, Gareth.
Okay.
Gareth's on here. So Gareth is asking, because you mentioned that you get free products. Have you reached out to any companies about endorsements?
No, I haven't, because I want to make sure that transparency is on my channel and it's stuff that I believe in. One of the things that I've learned is, also we'll talk about this in my stream of revenue, is that I have I've been able to get some freelance work and they pay well. Mm-hmm. But what I have learned is that the reason why I started this is because I want to make sure that fully my ideas and my thoughts are expressed. And I've learned that working for someone is still working for someone.
Yes.
Whether it be freelance work or going to an office. I enjoy the freelance work that I'm doing. I love the money that they're paying me to do it. But I feel like I'm doing someone else's vision instead of mine. And the other thing is that when I'm doing someone else's vision, I feel like there's a tendency for me to hold back, because I want to create these ideas and these moments for my baby. And so I never want to do something and hold back. And I feel like when I'm endorsing something, then I'm working for someone else, because I'm endorsing their product, their ideas. And I think it takes away from being genuine for the channel. And I'm in this position where I'm beholden to them. And so, trust me, I get a ton of offers all the time about stuff. And then I have to say to myself, it doesn't fit the brand. And I have to tell people that I'll be honest in the review, but honesty means you may not like what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. And if you're okay with that, then like I'll go ahead and accept your product. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the whole endorsement. Yes, it's a good money grab, but for me, like I said, I was against social media for the show me type of thing. It's all about, I want to help people as much as I can on a broader scale.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Okay. Now let's go back to your channel real quick, because this actually brings up, and I see you want to say something.
Oh, with that said, if Nike, you want to reach out and you want to give me some shoes, a Jordan brand, I'm okay with that. Shoes are good.
Okay.
Don't pay me. Just send me the shoes. That's all I care about.
Okay, boo boo. All right. So, did we tackle? Yeah, you answered as far as how you're structuring your video and stuff like that. But it comes across this one right here, right, where it's unlisted, a message for you. I remember you sent this out to your email list, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you create that? What's this about?
So this is an unlisted one. So make sure you join my Facebook group, This One Dave Army, if you want to see it. I only posted it there. Oh, and I sent it out in my email list too. So this was a video that showed. I wanted to express. This is when I reached 100 subscribers. I was like, man, 100 subscribers. Like I wasn't even expecting it, especially so fast. And so I want to just thank people in the video. I just wanted to take a moment to thank it. I didn't use any fancy equipment or lighting or anything. I just propped up my phone. I was really dumbfounded by the fact, like, wow, I got 100 subscribers. And so I just wanted to make sure that I let people know. And I think like a month later, it was like 1,000. And I remember I was like, man, I just made that video. Wow. And so, yeah, that was it. I just wanted to thank people. Like, I tell you, like, I'm still shocked that people watch the channel. I'm still shocked that, they're subscribers. I'm shocked that I'm making income off of this. I mean, it still feels like a honeymoon phase that's still continued on, and I don't want it to end.
And yeah, guys, look, like, it's not even the best looking. This is all on his phone. And I purposely muted it, so if you're thinking, oh, we can't hear it, that's on purpose. But look, this is here, he's just being genuine and just talking about, how he's feeling at the moment. So I love that you did that. I thought that was great.
Oh.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well,
okay.
Great people watch it. You got more questions?
Hold up. I got more questions for you. Let me do this.
I like answering questions. I know I had a lot of questions on my YouTube channel, so I just want to make sure that people get them answered.
Yeah, sure. I'm looking through it and just some of the stuff. So how did you get followers? That was one that was from earlier, and we're just gonna continue with that. So
yeah,
his journey.
We kind of addressed that.
Yeah, we kind of addressed that. All right. So like I said, let me do me.
Okay.
All right, so after that, guys, this one that we're looking at, we'll scroll this down a little bit. This is the first row here. This is when you start getting into the band game. So again, you did your first band video here, but you kind of ignored it after that. Like, you didn't really use it. So why did you decide to start using bands here? And we also want to talk about, I think this is when you really started developing your voice. So I'm going to even open up some of these and just talk to us about how you go about doing your videos from structuring it. And, because I'm the person helping him record these videos. So he's like, okay, boo-boo, this is what we're going to do today. And da-da-da-da-da. And then if I give a suggestion he don't like, he's like, no, this is the intention for this video. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I'm very demanding when it comes to the videos there. It's like, when you're half naked on the internet, I want to make sure that things are right. And so, yes, Monique's been very patient with me when it comes to the videos. Mm-hmm. And also want to make sure that I do the viewers justice. So the first breakthrough video was my total body band workout. That video was actually kind of a slow burner, and then it became my most viewed video till this date. It's the one that has over 100,000 views. Mm-hmm. And so my mindset behind that was that it was really, I felt like a lot of people didn't think that bands, especially guys that are very built or anything like that, like, really, how good could a band workout be? And I remember working out in the...
And let me stop you for a second, sorry. I was one of those people, right? Because originally with quarantine, like, David had to put his foot down, if you will, and say, we're not going to the gym again right now. And I'm like, what? I mean, I knew why, but I remember inside I felt like I was going to lose all of the hard work I've ever done You know, David had a few home weights and things like that. So I think that's what even helped, you know, you develop the videos that you had for at home, because we were, you know, stuck at home. And then seeing bands, because I didn't respect the band game, because I didn't think you could get the same, I don't know, push and weight out of, you know, doing bands.
Yeah, I so one of the things I knew that when it comes to working out at home, which I've done many times, I think that in my mindset I always felt like a gym was better because it's already a commitment in itself. You physically have to leave a building and go to another building, and there's no, I mean, there is an escape, but it's harder to escape because you're there, you don't want to feel like you wasted your time and your gas, and you feel like you got to at least accomplish something there. But when you're at home, it's so easy to like, oh, you got a message and now you're taking your rest longer than it is. You see something on TV, something comes up on Sports Center, you get distracted, or Real Housewives of Atlanta, whatever your fancy is. And so you get distracted and you start looking at those things. And so now your workout, you're not really doing. So I remember like telling, because Monique, because you know she's newer in this fitness journey than I am, is like, you're gonna have to work out twice as hard at the gym. I mean, at home than you are gonna do at the gym, because we can't go to the gym.
Right.
And so the band workouts were something I was trying to make it so that, because Monique kind of follows the pattern of what I showed her, this is what you have to do. And so she's looking at, well, I can't do this and I can't do this. And I'm like, sure you can. And so I showed her with the bands. And so once I started working with the bands and showing her, I was like, this is actually better. Like, and then she's like, I don't see how. I'm like, you got to do it with the right technique. And if you do it with the right technique, you'll see that you're actually like, I felt like, okay, when I'm doing a side lateral raise where you bring your arm up like this, you see a lot of people in the gym, they're like this with 2 dumbbells or something like this. I was like, you know what? It's actually a better workout with the band, because if that band is attached to the door, if it's on your foot and you're coming up like this, that tension is all the way up there. And then then if you control it down, you still have tension on the way down. So it's easy to use momentum and get up and then just drop it down. But with the band, it's making you more honest. Mm-hmm. And so I remember like saying like, this is something that people should know, because I think people don't take bands as a serious workout as they should. And so I did a whole total body band workout. It connected with a lot of people. It's still connecting with a lot of people. I mean, it gets a lot of views on a daily basis here. Oh. And so I wanted to make sure that people understood that this is not, it's not just an accessory or a supplement. It could be the main course.
Mm-hmm. This is the video, guys, of over 100,000 views here. Right here, 107,000 views as of today, right now, and it's a total body band workout. And let's talk about this brings to my attention. So first things first. Let's talk about, how do you come up with your topics and all of those amazing things?
I mean, my topics, it's just something that I build off of what works. So the one video, this video here, total body band workout, I was like, that phrasing, the way I did the caps and everything, is something I was just like, let me try to mimic that in other videos. I went with what works. I'm like, okay, so this is something that caught people's attention. Mm-hmm. So I started modeling my videos in that type of phrasing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And as far as your description, mm-hmm. all of these things, you know, compared to, let's look at a video from...
Well, I changed all those, so they're going to look similar.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you the evolution of my description here.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, you can't see what it was in the early days, but in the early days, it wasn't much there. It was a description of what the video is. Here's my Twitter. Here's my face. Here's my Instagram. And then I started getting a lot of comments about, or I would see comments. People would put like, side lateral raise exercise, minute 135. And I was just like, oh, let me put timestamps in there so people can go ahead and jump to the parts that they want, and I can get a lot of replays on that. And so I started adding timestamps on there, and also it helped me out in the algorithm of YouTube, and that's what gets YouTube to recommend your videos more. So the more you have information about your video, the more, like, let's say if it's about a back workout, and then I have a timestamp of such and such as the back workout. Now I've got 2 things that are on there that are saying back workout, which makes YouTube recommend your video more for back workouts. So that actually helped me out in the algorithm. And so I put the timestamps on there. Then I had the descriptions on there, and I put the descriptions to kind of measure to match up with my tags to get even more repetition of what's in the video to help out the algorithm in YouTube. Because when it comes to getting your YouTube on people's home pages, you know, when you're on YouTube and the first thing that you click and it has all these videos on here that are recommended, it's all about getting good at the algorithm of YouTube. That's what's going to get you views. That's what's going to get people to see your content, because who cares how good your content is if no one can see it? And so all I did was teach myself on how to get better at the algorithm. And that was, so I made sure my description became better and better. Then I learned that hashtags on there helps you out in the algorithm. So I had different hashtags at the bottom there. And those, I only put like 3 or 4 on there to describe the video. Helps you out a little bit more in the algorithm. Let's go back to the details, because I'm not remembering everything that's on there.
Oh, sure.
So I can talk about each one.
Hold on 1 second. All right, we got it. Boom.
All right. So let's scroll up at the top. So right here, the other thing was that I wanted to make sure that I gave an opportunity for people to get the free meal plan, because that's one of the most comments that I have about is like, what do you eat? What's your diet? What should I eat? Stuff like that. So free meal plan, give a gift, get a gift. So I'm giving them the meal plan. I get an email. Okay. And my next step, I want to make sure, no, keep it up there.
Sorry.
The next thing I want you to, the next thing I evolved in was the equipment that I use in there. This is how to develop another stream of revenue here. So if you're a part of the Amazon affiliate program, which I recommend that you start, even though you're not monetized on YouTube, if you're an Amazon affiliate, everything that people buy on Amazon, you can get paid a commission on. I wish I would have started that earlier, okay? But I didn't do that till later on. And so I'm telling you right now, if you got a YouTube channel, start with affiliate links and you can start getting paid right away, okay? So all the products that I recommend and I use in the videos, people ask a question, they click the link on Amazon, they decide to purchase it, I get a commission, they get the item, because I get that question all the time. So it helps people and come back and get more views because they want to click it to figure out where to get the product. The other thing I have on there are other videos that I recommend. You want people to binge off your content like a great Netflix show, okay? And do that, I need to make my content more available when they're, and grab them at the time they're viewing it. They may not connect with all your videos, but all you need is one. And if they got that one video, and then they can see other videos of like things that are either related to it or you think they can enjoy, I put that in the description so they can click that and go right away. The next thing is that I have my description. I already talked about the time steps. And then from there, I put exercises used in the video. So with that, that's helping me out in the algorithm even more, and it's giving information out to the people that are watching the video. So they'll know what exercises are in there. And it tells YouTube like, hey, recommend me in videos with these exercises. So the description helps me out more. You get recommended, more to get on the home page, more to get likes for people to see your channel and make it grow. Then from there, I have a donation from PayPal. I was just, if anybody wants to donate, they can. No one's donated, feel free to go ahead and do it right now. Thank you. The other thing is that I put on the other resources where people can find me on Instagram, Twitter, because different platforms people connect with more than others. There are a lot of people who go on Instagram and never go on Facebook. All right. I want to make sure that my content is available to everyone. So I have it so they can follow me there. And one of the other major things that I recommend doing is putting a business email. If people want to reach out to you for freelance work, send you free stuff, sponsor your videos and stuff, you got to give them a way that they can find you. And so I put my business email out, and the day that I did that, man,
it was like every day people had offers for me all the time. I turned down more than I accept. And so that business email was very important. But here's the thing. I didn't do all this stuff at once. I learned over time. So I'm giving you the shortcut right now. I learned over time about what I need to put in that description to help maximize what I want and what I want to give out to my audiences.
All right. Now, let's talk about these comments here. And actually, this kind of parlays into what happens when you first put up your video. All right. So that includes, like, you know, for me, I'm going to put us on full screen here. Like, as soon as his video publishes, he's like, boo boo, you got to go watch it. You got to go like it. You got to do these different things. So talk about, as soon as you upload a video to YouTube, what are the immediate action steps that you are doing to make sure it takes off?
That brings it to another point, and I'm going to circle back to that.
Okay.
One, none of my subscribers would, if you're a YouTuber out there, and I know you heard about this, is sub for sub. Hey, you subscribe to mine, I'll subscribe to yours. Or they join Facebook groups to get that. I don't have a single one that way. All of mine are organic. Some people even do these trades of viewing times. I'll view your video if you view mine, because to get monetized on YouTube, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and over 4,000 viewing hours on there. So some people try to game the system that way. You can't game YouTube, okay?
They're smart, okay?
People,
it's owned by Google. Hello.
MIT 4.5 GPAs work there, and they're working on the algorithm and stuff.
Right.
You can't game them.
Right.
So if you try to do it, yeah, you can get yourself monetized quickly, but it's going to hurt you in the end. Because here's the thing. If people are watching your videos and all of a sudden stop, it negatively impacts you on the algorithm on YouTube, all right? If people are subscribing a lot and then a lot drop off, which is going to happen if you do that sub for sub stuff, it's going to negatively impact you on YouTube. So if you're doing that and if you think that's a good strategy, it is not. Do not do that. Just get better at your content. Get better at marketing at it. At the end of the day, good content is going to win. So you just need to learn to get better and listening to your audience. Now, let's circle back around about when it comes to, you were saying the view.
As soon as you upload a YouTube video.
As soon as I upload a YouTube
to make it take off.
So I go to where the people love me the most first. I go to my Facebook groups, okay? Those are my supporters from day one. Those are the people that I make sure they're going to get the videos first. There's such a good group out there. Someone copyrighted my material to sell some bands on a product. I couldn't believe it. I was scrolling. Someone sent it to me. I wasn't scrolling. I'm sorry. They sent it to me, and they said, hey, Discipline Dave, is that you there?
That's how you know you made it, y'all. Okay.
Somebody like spliced my video into theirs, and they're like selling some products and this and that. And I was just like, man, you got to take this down or pay me, one or the two. And so anyways, I mean, that's how great that Discipline Dave Army is out there. And so I make sure I put it in all. I put it in my group. I put it in all my groups, and I put it in my personal page. Then from there. Remember, watch time, depending on how long people watch your content, is very big on YouTube, because YouTube wants people to stay on YouTube. And so if you have content and eyeballs are staying on there for the entire length or all that there, YouTube's going to recommend your video more and more and more. So the first thing I do is I watch my video. I make sure I watch it all the way to the end. Monique watches my video all the way to the end. I make sure that I like it. So I want to get that first little jump up on recommending my videos, especially when they start getting good views early and good likes early. YouTube's going to be like, oh man, there's something brewing up here. Like, we're going to put your video here. We're going to put it over there. We're going to make sure that people can see this here. All right. So I make sure that I do that first. Then I go to my Facebook groups. Then I go to my Instagram, and then I go to my Twitter there. So I do all those things every single upload to make sure that it positively impacts me on the algorithm of YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's that breakdown for you, because I know some of you all were asking about this. Now, with that said, yeah, this actually brings me to the next point. So, you know, you post to your Facebook groups, which are your people and all that other stuff. How would you say you're getting new people to come to your page. If you're going to the same group over and over, and fine, we could also say, well, these groups are growing each week too, so there's new people coming in. But outside of that, how are you getting new people to show up consistently or new subscribers?
When it comes to, I think it's more so either the variation of the videos. I try out different things. Some of my posts and some of my videos, I incorporate my wife to bring some more women in. I also do bite-sized content on Instagram because you may not be a person that likes to follow YouTube. Maybe your mindset is like, oh, I like stuff a little bit shorter. So I'll take like bite-sized chunks of my videos and put that on Instagram, and that connects with people too. And then if they start to really enjoy it and like it, they may eventually come over to YouTube. Also, this may just apply to the fitness community. When it comes to fitness, gyms constantly have to have reoccurring people coming because people don't keep up their commitment with fitness. You got your loyal few meatheads that are going to come there all the time, or your gym rats there, and then you're going to have people that come on New Year's Day, which is the worst time to come to the gym because everyone has a resolution, and then a week later half of those people are gone.
Right.
So with that said, in my niche, and I can only speak for my niche there, when it comes to fitness Facebook groups, there's constant turnover. So I'm constantly getting exposure that way. I don't really, I could always be doing something better here, but I get new people all the time when I go on Facebook because they're constantly joining this all the time. Every post, I'm a new member, this and that there, and stuff like that. And so when the fitness community, there's always going to be kind of new people coming in and ready to start their resolution or their week, their year, their month, whatever it is. And hopefully you can keep the people that are going to sustain that.
All right. So let's go. Because I've kind of brought this up and I don't think we really broke it down, or at least the way that I guess I wanted you to break it down for us. So let's talk about it. So another thing, guys, is also he makes sure to say physically in his videos, and we even have like this animation to tell people to like and subscribe. Don't think like that's too cheesy to do, because people just do what you tell them to do. So that's another thing to really just get people engaged with your content. And even, I forgot. Remember, I don't think you really do it so much now, but you would ask a certain question and tell people to leave a comment down below.
I stopped asking in the videos, but I put it in the comments of a question on my videos and I pin it.
Right.
And that really gains traction because another thing that helps out the algorithm is interactions. So an interaction would be a like, a comment, if you love something. And so I make sure that I respond to every single comment. Maybe it'll get to the point where that's impossible. It's probably only inevitable, but I'm going to do it until physically impossible not to respond to everyone. And then I'll try to find a new means to do that or take the most used comments. And so with that, the best way to kickstart that is to ask a question to your audience when you first view your video. And so I start the conversation and I say, what are your favorite workouts? What are you doing in quarantine? How many pull-ups can you do? And that first question is going to get people answering it and engaging it, especially like your loyal diehards there. And those type of comments will make other people more comfortable with it because no one wants to be first. They want to just be a part of the group. And so you be the first. And you do that, and now your interactions have gone up in your numbers, and it helps out the algorithm because there's like YouTube's like, man, there's a lot of people like interacting on this channel here. All right, let's recommend it a little bit more. And so the comments and stuff like that help you out in the algorithm. So don't be too cool to comment on it. Don't worry about getting hurt if someone says something negative, whatever. If people are saying a lot of negative or the same thing, that is actually an indicator that maybe you need to change something. Like don't take it so personally. Learn from those things, and then you'll see that you can get better at it and grow. Somebody will probably always say something negative. People will say 1,000 great things, and you're only going to focus on that one negative there. But if it's only one, you can't make everyone happy. But if you see something reoccurring, that should be an indicator that I need to change something. But what a lot of people don't know this is that also dislikes actually still help you in the algorithm.
I was going to say that.
Right. A lot of people think that if you're disliking it, YouTube is not going to actually. YouTube understands what the media is known for years. Controversy sells, okay? If people are disliked, I even tell people, if there's something you don't like, hit the dislike button. Just let me know what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. That actually helps you out in the algorithm. So any interaction, whether it be positive or negative, it's going to positively impact you on the YouTube algorithm. So if someone, I remember when I got like my first dislike, whatever, I was just beating myself over and stuff. And then I learned like, oh, it actually helps you. I was like, man, that's not a big deal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. This was like one of my pull-up ones and stuff. People were like, you didn't go all the way down on your pull-up, bro. Come on. You got to go all the way down. You're halving those pull-ups. This is terrible. How could you be a YouTuber? You don't go all the way down. I mean, that kind of hurt me a little bit, when it came to that there. But then after that, I said, you know what? I'm going to show you. And I got even better at it. And in my latest video, I went all the way down just to show you, yes, Discipline Dave going all the way down on his pull-ups, okay? Whatever. Yeah, I was contracting my strapula. It's actually better for you to do it that way. But anyway, side note.
Okay. All right. So I love that. And thank you for sharing all of those things. Couple more things. Okay. So I'm looking over here, guys, at the screen over here. I might as well just show you guys what I'm looking at. So, it doesn't look like I'm ignoring you. So, okay. Once you hit the 1,000 subscribers, what unlocked for you mentally, and also what did YouTube reward you for it?
Oh, so yeah, I got an email from YouTube. I got an email when I got 100 subscribers, 500, and 1,000. And what they did was they showed me I had when I got 500, you're like, you have more people watching your channel than on a Boeing 717 aircraft. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That's smart for them to keep you motivated.
So yeah, I mean, I got those things, and then I remember just I was thinking to myself, if I got 100 subscribers, I'm legitimate. And then I got 1,000, you gotta have you gotta have at least 100. That doesn't look that good. So if you have 500, you're legitimate. Then you have then you're not happy with that, and then you get 1,000, oh yeah, this guy's serious, whatever. But I think that I kind of always gonna feel it's not going to be enough, and I think that's a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it's going to keep you motivated to keep going and pushing for the videos. But Monique the other day had to pull me aside and it's let's go to Olive Garden, socially distanced with masks and big tables in between.
Yeah, we
by
did.
the way. And because she's like, you should celebrate. I didn't know you had a video over 100,000 views. You should do it. And in my mind, it's just I don't.
Was yeah, okay.
I just feel it could be more and it could be better and stuff like that. And she just had me kind of stop and smell the roses. And I think that's what a good partner is for you. It just kind of lets you know what you kind of need. And we took that day to celebrate 100,000 views, and then. It was just, I remember just being so happy just to get 100. And so now it's there's these new normals that are keep reaching all the time. And it's been a wonderful journey.
I love it. Now, this is more of a selfish question, so I'm going to have you take over the mouse,
okay.
Right? So I'm going to bring this selfish question for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, when David... The one thing I love about his personality, when he goes all in, he goes all in. He is in obsessive mode.
Yeah.
So, homeboy...
Michael Jordan, Last Dance.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how his mind works. When his mind is set on something, you can't stop him from nothing. So, as a result, ladies and gentlemen, when we're watching shows in the living room... Homeboy got his computer up or his phone and he's looking at analytics. So let's bring up your analytics.
Yeah.
And talk to me what is going through your process or in your head when you're looking at the analytics.
All right. So when it comes to analytics, you want to make sure that your analytics is gonna kind of be your gauge of where to go in your channel. So for me, the analytics, as they say, numbers don't lie.
Right.
It's gonna tell me what's working and what's not working, and I want to show you how I view my analytics and what I think about when I look at my analytics.
Because he's doing it all the time, y'all.
All the time.
All the time.
So when I first upload a video, I would look at my ranking by views, and I want to see how it is compared to others at that same amount of time. So I take a look at that. And be honest with you, when it comes to this, there's sometimes I'll get discouraged. I'm like, oh, 7th out of 10. And like a month later, that video blows up. You just never know. Some are like, boom, right away. And then they just kind of fall off. And then some are just slow burners and it just takes off for some reason. And so that's the first thing I'm looking at. So don't beat yourself up over looking at that one all the time. So if you go to your deeper analytics here, there's a couple of them. So the thing that I love to do the most is that, so YouTube, they're like sometimes, okay, I'm going to talk about revenue. That's the thing I like to do the most. I like to look at how much money I made every morning when I get up. Sometimes they'll do it around 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I can just sleep good because I know how much money I made, and it's a day behind when it comes to your money. And then sometimes they don't do it till like after midnight, and so like I'm already asleep. And so the first thing I do every single morning is look at how much ad revenue I made. So if you take a look at this number right here, it says $429. They haven't updated it for today, so it's probably gonna be something in the morning that I'm gonna rush to my computer for. This is how much money I've made in YouTube so far. I've only monetized. This is a 28-day for the last 28 days. I only monetized last month, and it was on the 15th. So this is actually under 28 days. All right. So this is how much money I made just from ad revenue. One stream of revenue. I have multiple streams that I monetize up, but this is just off of ads. So if I take a look here, it shows me every day money that I've made. And usually it does a good peak when I release a video because I'll get a lot of views on that video that's there. And so that's the first thing I usually look at. And then from there, I look at my views, and it shows me daily on different views. Now, when it comes to views, you may have views one day, but you may not make as much money. Like you'll have more views one day, but that day that has more views, you may not make as much money as the day has less views. So let me explain that to you. So YouTube lets you put ads, multiple ads. Like, have you watched a YouTube video in the middle of it? It's like 5, 4, 3, and you can hit skip on there in the middle of the video. Well, the video has to be over 8 minutes long for you to put multiple ads on there. So let's say you have a video that has less views, but it's longer, so you can put multiple ads on there. You're going to make more money off of that video. So that's why you can have more money on days when you have actually less views, because people are watching a video that's actually longer. So there's more ads that are placed on there. And then I take a look at how many subscribers that I've gotten from the day before, the next day. This is what I do every single morning. So I'm looking at that. Now, what I do throughout the day is I look at my real-time analytics. So this is as it's happening right now. So I love looking at this all the time. So it shows you a 48-hour window, and it shows you 60 minutes. So from there, I can look that in 48 hours, my best video that I have on my channel has viewed 3,372. And then I can look what's happening here on as far as how many views I've had. And I just got 2 views right now. So it went from 68 to 70. And also on these graphs, it shows you the times of the views you got. So with those times, I can actually gauge on when my viewers watch videos. So that's how I determine when do I upload. My viewers, you guys like sleep in, all right? Y'all ain't no early birds, okay? So between 10:30 and 12, that's my peak time of views always, all right? 10:30 and 12. So I upload my videos at 10:30. So this really helps me dive in on when to upload, when to maximize on that views. Because like I said, if you can get a boom in those views, YouTube starts saying, oh man, we got to start recommending this. A lot of people are watching it. Like, that's the actual YouTube voice. But that's what they do. And then, so that's what I do on this page. So this is the one I look at through the day, like a lot. What I like to do is, This is in reverse. Okay. What I like to do is that I look at where my views are coming from. So over here on the reach, I can look at my sources. And so it's showing that YouTube has suggested my videos 42% of the time.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So that's like, so a suggested video is like, you ever watch a video and then they'll have like another video that comes after it, or they'll have on like the side of videos that they think so that you may like. So you want to get on there because that's how you're going to get a lot of exposure. So 42%. 23 are YouTube searches. Browse feature. So this is like being on the home page. That's what I was saying. You want to get on people's home pages. So if people are subscribed, it's pretty much going to be on their home page. But if they're not subscribed, but they're like into fitness a little bit or something like that, and YouTube may just put it on there because they can see that a lot of people like this video. And then I can look at my sources of where my views are coming from that are outside of YouTube. This is my external section. I like to see that. So 24% come from Facebook. My Facebook people groups out there. Thank you for being strong out there. And here's something that surprised me.
WhatsApp. Okay.
Well, the WhatsApp. I don't even like market on the WhatsApp, but I have a lot of international viewers. So my top international viewers are from the UK, Canada, and India. And not in that order. I think India now has surpassed the UK for me. Like a lot of people are like, hey man, I love you guys. Like India, people are watching my views. And I think like the next one after that is like South Africa.
Oh yeah, because I remember initially it was like South Africa. Like that was
South Africa's like number two.
was large initially.
Yeah. But now I think it's like, it's United States, UK, and India. But so that's what I look at too when I look at there. Then from here, I look at, okay, what's working for my YouTube search for my tags. So my number one search thing, if you look at the bottom right when it says traffic search, YouTube search, is resistance bands workout. So anytime I have a resistance band, I always make sure I put that tag in there. I always make sure, and when I'm typing in my description, that I use that wordage in there so I can double down on the searches. And so when people type in resistance bands workouts, YouTube promotes my video on there more than most with that one there. And so I can see what's working when it comes to with the put in those tags and stuff. And this is overall on the channel. You can also break this down by individual. So I do that too. So if you go to videos and you go to your analytics, you can get that. So let's go to that one that's my best video.
The 107K.
Yeah, 107K. So we can take a look and dive in deeper on that video. So I like to do this on a video that's working, so you can know how to like see in future videos, you can apply those concepts that worked in this video. So in here, this video alone has made me $306. It also shows an arrow that it's still trending upward. It's not slowing down. So people are still really liking the video.
Thank you, everybody.
So this video has generated, this video alone by itself, 2,800 subscribers. The other thing is I like to look at is audio, the audio retention, audience retention. So what I like to do is, so this is just showing you how audience, as far as when they're viewing it and it's dying down, like what points in the video where people are teetering off. But this is just relative to videos on your channel. If you look at relative audience retention, this is based off of videos that have the same amount of time on YouTube. So videos that are around 15 to 16 minutes long, how your video stacks up to theirs. I love this section more. So this line here is what the average is, and then the blue line that's on top is how you're doing. So people really like the beginning of this video. It starts to die down, but I'm still above the average. And as you see, the video is changing as I click it, so you can pinpoint exactly where people are teetering off. So if I go right here, it looks like my face pulls that I think that, that are very good. Actually, no, it's the squats.
Yeah.
So once you go to my legs with the squats here, I guess people like working out their legs. They like those chicken legs. That's when I start going below the average here.
Right.
So what that information tells me is that these workouts that I'm doing, like, it's telling me that the leg workouts aren't connecting with people, all right? I'm not saying that I'm not going to do leg workouts, but I know that one, either I need to work on making that better,
Right.
or two, I need to focus on these other workouts here because that's what people want to see. It may be something I want to give out, but this is actually what people want to see. And so that's what this graph tells me, and that's what I look at on my analytics. And I know you're thinking like, man, he's getting a lot of information on this here. Like, how do you learn this? I learned it in chunks. I learned it in bite sizes, okay? I watch videos about analytics. Do this. Remember, I wasn't a person on social media, okay? So if I can learn this, you can learn it too. I just slowly over time, with my obsessive Michael Jordan Last Dance personality, was like, how can I gain the best advantage I can for people to see the content that I put so much hard work into it? I put just more work in the content of learning how to be able to make it so people can see my content. Oh, you put it back.
Okay. One other thing I want to ask you. So, to get to that first 1,000, so, you kick this off showing the revenue. So at this time, you're not making any money. So is there anything that was done differently to help you get to the first 1,000 subscribers when you were looking at this?
No, I mean,
outside of the revenue, because the revenue obviously was not there. You weren't monetized yet.
Yeah, I wasn't monetized yet, but everything I'm showing you that isn't the revenue is what I did before I had 1,000.
Okay.
It was just the revenue. The tab wasn't even there for the revenue. Okay, so that's actually something I'm actually learning myself a little bit more right now, because this is new for me to have a revenue tab because it's not available if you're not monetized. So everything, the reason why I can speak well on these other topics is because I studied them so hard because I wanted to get better at YouTube. And I understood, especially because I had a sales background when I was a manager, when it came to store sales, we had a graph that showed all the numbers of all the stores and stuff like this. And the people that did well were the ones that dove into the numbers. They studied. They knew it like the back of their hands. They could look at certain reasons why certain things were working, why they were working in this store without even ever visiting the store. Mm-hmm. Okay? What accessory was doing well and this and that. What was being sold with the accessory to do well. So with that background, I understood if I knew my numbers, because you always got creamed in the meeting when your store sucked and you didn't know why. And so I was like, I'm not going to, if my channel sucks and I don't know why, that's on me. At least I need to know why, because then I can begin the process of fixing it. Mm-hmm. So I became very deep into learning how the analytics on YouTube works. And so this, if you're watching this right now, I'm giving you the shortcut because it took me a while to figure this all out. And this is everything I literally do every day to figure out what works well. The other thing is here, you have an audience. Oh, you can put it back on there so they can see.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so right here you have an audience tab, and this is unique viewers. So these are people that aren't subscribed or anything, that have never seen your content or anything. So
That's a large number.
So yeah, I got a lot of 77,000 from people who just like, hey man, let me check out this video. This is watch time from people who are not subscribed versus subscribed. So on this one video here, so 96% are not subscribed and only 3.8 aren't. So I pulled in a lot of new people to watch the content. But here's the thing, if you've been on YouTube, it took a couple of videos before you subscribe for you to be like, oh, okay, I like this here. Let me watch it. You didn't want to make that commitment right away off of one video. Mm-hmm. And so that number is usually like that for most YouTubers and stuff like that, around in the 90% of not subscribed. But if you show that you can upload regularly and put in some good content there, you eventually get those people to subscribe. So yeah, here's this percentage. So I was just talking about this. So when it talks to my top countries on this video, United States, the number 2 is India. And those numbers are actually even higher on those other countries when you look at my overall. But this is just for this video. I get so many people asking me about, because apparently the bands that I recommend on Amazon, you can't get in India. And they're always asking me like, what bands can you recommend I get to India? I'm like, I don't know, bro, but I'm going to find out for you. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what they can or cannot see in India, but I get that question a lot. I got a lot of fans from India. And also you have your age demographics. So between 25 to 34 years old, 36%, that's my top. And then it goes from 35 to 44. And so it lets me know, like, hey, should I put trap music in my videos? Should I not? Like, what it guides me into what my audience is. And so I'm around that age, so I kind of know, especially because I put in some little jokes with, like, there's like a Little John one I put, it's like, what, on the side and stuff like this. So if I got people, 18 to 24, they probably weren't around when the Dave Chappelle show and the height of, like, Little John, so they may not work in your video. So this right here kind of guides me into what my audience demographic is and what they're probably interested in. And that's pretty much it. And last but not least, and definitely not least, which is not so much numbers, it's so much more heart or anything, is your comments. I'm always looking at my comments here, and the first thing I do is I like the comment. Well, it's probably only like 2 I didn't like. You guys were mean, so I didn't like it. But I like 98% of my comments. Helps me out with the interaction, helps me out with the algorithm. I love it on there, and I make sure I do a reply. So I've got 3 interactions there. So every comment, I put a reply. So I'm doubling down on my interactions with every video, which is going to make YouTube recommend it more. And that's pretty much what I do in analytics all the time.
All right. I love it. Oh my goodness. So those guys that are still with us, thank you so much, because I know this has been going on, but I love all the information that he divulged to all of us. Was this helpful for those of you guys that are here? Because I think some of you have been here since the very beginning of us airing at 8 p.m. Eastern. But I hope this was beneficial to you all. Again, I'm so proud of you, David, because, you started this back in March 2020 of this year and have made...
Yeah, I don't think viewers know that. Like, I started this in March of this year, or...
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but those who are just joining us, like, all what he's sharing, guys, he just started this YouTube channel this year, back in March. Every single video was recorded with his phone. The only other additional thing was a microphone. And then, he's just been sticking to it. And, he pretty much gave you all of the things. Like he said, he had to learn this, go through the hours. I saw him just digging in and all this other stuff. And the reason why I had him come on was, I've done a YouTube channel before. Actually, when he and I were first started dating, I had a co-host.
Video connected us.
Yes, I had a co-host YouTube channel where even till this day has thousands of views. I think the largest amount even right now, I think, is 40K. We never reached the 100K mark. And this is years ago, right? So for one, that goes to show you guys, no matter when you start on YouTube, it still is beneficial to you all. We haven't done anything with that YouTube channel for many years now, and it's still getting views and things like that. But I wanted to see and just have someone, a live case study, literally, as it's live, we're showing everything here. And even just some of the things that, I learned from you, how things are slightly different from how they were before. But I think the foundation here, more so than anything else is that, David, you are here to serve and really help your people. I mean, there would be times where I would suggest things and he's like, nah, that wouldn't help. Like, I want to make sure I'm authentic, or I want to make sure my audience is benefiting from this. And I think when you show up, and then what I love also is that every single video, and I've seen it because it's grown. I mean, I've even, pretty much, he could have easily asked me, and even initially I showed him a little few tweaks when it came to editing, but he learned it on his own. All of this is done on his own. It's not like he had me to do it, because I just want to put that out there, because y'all know I do video, but I didn't touch the editing. He would do the editing and get my feedback, and sometimes I would do suggestions, or I might help him with a little something, but this has been his whole baby. And I just wanted to have him come on and show you, this is someone who is not familiar with social media, who doesn't do social media, who doesn't do email marketing, who doesn't do digital marketing, who doesn't do YouTube, but now he does all of these things, learning, putting in the grit, putting in the, with the foundation of it being, how can I be better for the people that are looking to me for help? Because he takes that very, very seriously.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
So anyway, I just want to say thank you for those of you guys that are here and all those great things. A personal plug for him again. He's 100 away from 5,000 subscribers. He's going to do a giveaway for that. So Discipline Dave, if you want to look up his YouTube channel for those who want to get into fitness. And then also for those of you guys who are watching us live right now, and how I even have him come on and make sure to stress to you all, just use what you have at home. We are actually doing a giveaway. So if you guys are interested about the giveaway we're doing, where we're giving away a wireless microphone along with a all-in-one video rig kit that allows you to attach your phone or an actual DSLR lighting kit, then let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to give you a link. It's a free giveaway with a whole bunch of goodies in it. If you want to have access to that, be sure to do that, because I want you all to go out and start doing your YouTube channels. And all you need, if you feel that you need some, little oomph to it, like a microphone, then I want you all to participate in this giveaway as well. So thank you so much, babe, for coming on. I hope you had a lot of fun and enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I like, naturally, I just like helping people, and hopefully this helps people and makes it so that they're not lost in the dark when it comes to YouTube. And I would say over everything that I've shown, the analytics, this and that there, if there's one thing to take away is this here. Keep uploading, because you're just one video away. One video from making a breakthrough. You don't need them all to make, you just need one. And then when that one makes it that breakthrough, all those other ones, people will be able to see your amazing content. But remember that you're just one video away. They all don't have to be home runs. Mm-hmm. And so just keep that mindset. I know the analytics and everything can be a lot to take in, but just remember, it's just one video away, and you never know what that video is going to be. So don't get discouraged if that one doesn't have a lot of videos or this and that and there. Keep uploading, keep improving. You're only one video away.
Boom, baby. I love how you ended it. Look at you, Fofo. Again, oh my goodness, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if you want to participate in the giveaway that I just mentioned, again, of a wireless mic along with a video rig kit where you allow you to attach and have like a stabilizer and a whole lighting thing, then be sure to let me know in the comments. I'll send you a link to the giveaway. And other than that, thank you so much, guys. Above anything else, I love how, David said, keep uploading. But those of you guys who are watching this is almost a 2-hour interview. This will be a waste of your time that you cannot get back if you do not go and upload, like he says, or you do not go and execute. Take what you learned from us, more so him, not me. What you learned from him, who's a complete newbie to all of this online world stuff, right? He shared his story with you guys initially. Take all what he learned. He went and did this since March, and go do it for yourself. Let it benefit you, because just as like David is, I love helping people as well. So hopefully this was helpful and beneficial to you guys. All right, if you have any additional oh, we got some comments. I'm so impressed with you too. Oh, thank you. We're seeing the comments coming in and things like that. If you guys, I forgot what I was saying because I was looking at the comments. Anyway, thank you so much. And, again, I hope you guys love this. Those of you guys who are just joining in or only were able to get a bit of this, be sure to watch the recording. Take copious notes. Watch this over and over again, if you will. Take bits and pieces, because like he said, he learned this in bits and pieces. Not like, don't do this, guys. Don't go back and watch this video and go through the whole 2 hours and say, okay, I gotta wait for everything to be perfect. This is why I made sure to break down this interview where we went through the different journeys of Disciplined Dave's YouTube channel. What was he thinking in the beginning? What was he doing in the beginning? Then what was he doing the next? And what is he doing today? Which leaves me with a last question for you, babe. What is the next, what do you see? What's next for Disciplined Dave, the YouTube channel?
What's next? What's next? I think I just think about the next video being the best. I don't really look at the whole, I guess, that far ahead. What I look at is how can my next video be the best video that I can make? How can I do that? How can I get different ideas, be in the right mindset? I'm constantly taking little notes and stuff like on my phone if I strike a good idea, because a good idea is like holding on to a slippery fish. It's just right there in your hands and it's coming, like it's just right there. And so for me, I'll just take a quick note on my phone or something like that if you have a good idea. And I'm also a fan of YouTube. I think that that's a very important thing, is that don't stop being a fan of it. Don't just make your videos and don't watch other videos.
Right.
I get so much inspiration from other YouTubers. Pretty much my editing style comes from watching sneaker reviews. And I kind of use their style of reviewing sneakers when it comes to fitness, because that's what I enjoy watching. I'll see somebody do a transition, a crop in, they'll use an effect, and I say, ooh, I think I would like to do that on there. And I think that it will help me express an idea or emphasize a great idea better. And so every day I'm thinking about how to make that video I'm doing next better. That's really all I think about.
I love that. And it's true, because Homeboy is a sneakerhead right here. And yeah, he watches his videos, he goes on a binge. And then even for me, I would say the same thing. You know, I love that you said that, babe. Don't stop being a fan of YouTube, and don't just watch people in your space either, in your industry. Like, go to other industries. Like he said, he takes over things from the sneakerhead world over to the fitness world. I think that is the best way to make yourself stand out immediately in your niche. Don't copy other people who are doing the same exact thing in your niche. Go into something that's totally random or not related and emulate that way. I think that is a great way to really get you to stand out, et cetera, et cetera. Because it's true, like, and I'm not being biased because, you know, this is my husband, but some of the things that he's doing, I'm like, they ain't doing this in the fitness space. So I love that, and that's probably why also he's doing so well with it as well. Anyway, I mean, we could do this for however long. We might bring him back. You guys let me know if you want to see David come back, especially when we hit another milestone for him. Thank you for the comments coming in. I think somebody said we're a power couple, babe, and stuff like that. So he said, yeah, okay. David is something else. Anyway, again, let me know if you want access to the giveaway in the comments down below. I saw that some people put the giveaway comment. I'll be sure to give you guys the link. I'll go through the comments. And if there's any questions that we didn't address, maybe we'll have David come back on and address those, or I'll have him address them accordingly by writing them out. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. I had a blast. This was everything. Thanks, babe.
No problem.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.